Hi everybody, welcome back to the Striving Catholic YouTube channel. My name is Delia, and today I want to share with you two Bible verses to kind of help set the stage for what it is that I'm going to be talking about. So the very first Bible verse comes out of Colossians chapter 3 verse 2. And I'll be reading this straight out of the Blessed is She Journaling Bible. If you don't have one, I highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. So again, the first one comes out of Colossians chapter 3 verses 2. And it's short and sweet, and it says this: think of what is above, not of what is on earth. So that's the first Bible verse I want you guys to kind of start thinking about. The second Bible verse comes out of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verses 26. And it says this: what profit would there be for one to gain the whole world and forfeit his life? Or what can one give in exchange for his life? I'm sure a lot of you at one point in your life have been told to not worry about what possessions you have here on earth, because at the end of the day, or rather at the end of your life, you're not going to need any of that because you're not going to be able to take it with you wherever you go. Now, this is true. However, while we are alive, we do need certain possessions. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about today, differentiating between our wants and our needs. Our whole life here on earth is a time of testing, and depending on how we live our life will determine where we go, whether the good place or the bad place. You know, having possessions is great, but a lot of the times we spend so much time and energy trying to keep up with them and trying to maintain the things that we have, so much so that we spend all that energy on the wrong things, where it could potentially be redirected to something a lot more fruitful, like growing in our faith. So a few Sundays ago, a priest shared in his homily something that really stood out to me, something that ever since I heard it, I've been thinking about every single day and trying to figure out how I can implement it in my life, which goes perfectly with the two Bible verses that I shared with you. And so what the priest shared with us was, when you're shopping or even when you're in your room and looking around at all of the things that you own, look at them and ask yourself, is this necessary for me to live out my vocation? And I thought that was perfect, because it really makes you think about two things. One, is it necessary? If it's necessary, great, but will it ultimately help me live out my vocation? And so those are two things that I am constantly asking myself whenever I am going on a random and spontaneous Target run, or whenever I'm in my room and just looking around at all the books and clothes and random things that I have. Delia, is this really necessary? And is this helping you to live out your vocation? Because remember, everything that we say or do has to reflect a life for God. We're called to be saints. We're called to live out a life worthy of spending an eternity with God in heaven. So how can we do this? Now, I'm sure a lot of you probably already own a lot of things, and so one of the best ways to get rid of that is to donate it or even have a garage sale. I know I personally had a garage sale a couple weeks ago where I was able to get rid of a lot of things, either by selling it or eventually donating it. I felt so relieved afterwards that I went back home, looked around my room, and figured, wow, I can actually get rid of a lot more because I really don't need them. And what I realized that after getting rid of those things is that my mind opened up. I no longer was thinking of how I can continue to maintain those possessions that I currently had, but instead, I was able to redirect that focus, that time, that energy to something more fruitful. I've been able to do a lot more things involving my faith because I'm no longer wondering about, oh, hey, when can I go buy this? When can I go buy that? Or I need to do this, I need to do that, because I got rid of so many of my possessions that ultimately weren't helping me live out my vocation. So along with having a garage sale, I actually had a garage sale with my mom, which was great. And so I recommend that perhaps you organize a communal garage sale, because as I kind of mentioned on my other videos, community, or having a community, is very important in growing in our faith. So if you're able to do something with some of your other friends or family members or other people within your church, that's just another opportunity for you guys to grow in fellowship with one another. So yes, it's true that we can't take all of our possessions with us when we die, but it is important that we choose the right possessions to have while we still live here on earth. So the next time you find yourself shopping at Target, at Best Buy, or wherever it is that you do your shopping, ask yourself, is this necessary for me to live out my vocation? This is the Striving Catholic YouTube channel. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye!